and her name is Sneha Vora, and she'll be conducting the session. But before that, I would like to make a small introduction. Hence, I'll first introduce, and then I will leave the forum to her, and she can conduct the rest of the session. So basically, I would like to introduce about what calisthenics and yoga is all about. And calisthenics and yoga basically brings together physical and mental disciplines to achieve a peaceful body and mind. It helps manage stress and anxiety and keeps you relaxing. It also helps in increasing flexibility, muscle strength, and body tone. It improves respiration, energy, and vitality. Yoga asanas build strength, flexibility, and confidence. So, I have given a very brief introduction, and I'm sure our guest speaker will elaborate on it and give a better view. Later on, this session will be interactive, so you guys can come forward with your doubts and your points, and that will be taken up on the forum. So, I would like to introduce my guest speaker for the evening. Her name is Sneha Vora. She has done her MA in naturopathy and yogic science from Sri Sri University. She's basically doing a freelance and personalized guidance for lifestyle management, spiritual lifestyle, and mindful eating. She has conducted a workshop on yoga and lifestyle modification, and she's having skills on Reiki healing too. So I would now like to give it over to Sneha so that she can conduct the rest of the session.
Thank you for the introduction. Um, it would be nice if I can see some faces so I know whom I'm talking to. It will be more interactive if you're comfortable.
Actually, my video is not working, I think. If anybody else can switch their videos on, then it would be really helpful.
All right. So it's all right. We'll get started. Okay. So firstly, before we start, let's just do some relaxing exercises wherever you're sitting. Okay. Um, Firstly, we can cross your legs if you're sitting on the floor or somewhere broad. If you're on your chair, it's okay. Just open up your palms and keep it on your thighs. Okay. Gently close your eyes. Straighten your back, relax your shoulders. Take your chin slightly towards your chest and elongate your spine as much as you can. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in and let go. Slowly breathe in and take your head back. Stretch your throat. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Breathe out. Bring your chin towards your chest. Feel the stretch at the back of your neck. Keep your shoulders relaxed throughout. Breathe in. Take your head back. Stretch your throat. Breathe out. Bring your chin down. Breathe in. Up. Breathe out. Down. Slowly breathe in. Center. And now breathe in. Turn your face towards the right side very slowly. Take your chin over your shoulder. Feel the stretch around the neck, the twist. Be very gentle, take your time, and continue with long, deep breaths. Breathe in, center, breathe out, left. Feel the twist around your neck. Breathe in, center. Now we'll touch your right ear to the right shoulder. Okay, sideways. Continue with the deep breaths. Very gently, try taking your ear towards your shoulder. Feel the stretch on the opposite side and the contraction on the right side. Breathe in, center, breathe out, left. Be very gentle and be with yourself, be with the experience. Breathe in, center. Just remain with your eyes closed for some time. Become aware of the muscles around your neck. Become aware of the relaxation. A deep breath in and breathe out. Slowly take both your hands by the side. Okay, just open up your palms, open your fingers like this. Okay, at both the sides, stretch it out completely. Okay, just push on both the sides. Feel the stretch on your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrist. Let your fingers point upwards, your palms sideways, and gently just twist your arms like this. Okay, it's excellent for your back after a long day on laptops or computers. Okay, just twist up and down, sideways. Do it for some time, don't give up, continue. And relax. Slowly bring your palms back on your thighs. You can close your eyes. Awareness on the shoulders, your arms. A deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in and let go. Okay. Now you'll raise the right hand up. Okay, you might see a mirror image. Okay, just raise your right hand and go towards your left. Okay, stretch yourself sideways as much as you can, exactly sideways, no bending forward or back. And change towards your left. Sorry, take your left hand and towards your right. Stretch as much as you can. Let your arms be next to your ear. Change towards your left and towards your right. Change. Stretch your neck, your ribs, right from your hips. Stretch. Continue. Change with your left hand, right, left, and relax. Bring your hands back down. A deep breath in and breathe out. Okay. Sorry, I have a dog, so you might get some disturbances. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay. Now, slowly take your both your hands, interlock it, and press it below your neck. Okay. Push your head into your palms and push your palms into your head. Okay. Create a little tension around your neck. Okay. Just see to it that your neck is in line with your spine. Okay. But there is some tension around your neck muscles, your shoulders. Okay. Now simply turn your eyes towards the right, left, keeping your head straight, right, left. Let the pressure be there. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and relax. Slowly close your eyes, both your palms open. Relax your eye muscles, relax your neck muscles. A deep breath in and breathe out. Take your awareness in between your eyebrows, the place where you put bindi, okay, tilak. Just keep your awareness there and take 5 deep breaths consciously. And you may relax after this round slowly and gradually. You may open your eyes. Okay. So we'll start with the presentation. Okay. Is my screen visible to everyone? Can I get a confirmation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good to know I have audiences. Otherwise, it will be weird talking to myself.
I think there's some issue with the video that is going on. I'm trying to fix it. Uh, let me know.
Okay. So, should I continue then?
Yes, you can continue the session.
All right. So, our topic for today, as you know, is impact of yoga on emotional well-being. So, I decided to choose this topic because I had done my dissertation and my master's with this topic for related to students. Okay. So I thought I will, let you know my personal experiences as well, rather than just talking about, very technical things. So, you know, it will be more relatable to everyone. All right, let's get started. So before we jump into very complicated things, let's understand yoga, which in a way which is not known to everyone, right? So what exactly it means, the word yoga itself. Okay, so it is derived from a Sanskrit word called yuj, okay, so which means to join or to unite, or like it's written like oneness. So what exactly are we talking about? What union or what joining are we talking about? So the union of your body, your mind, and your breath. Okay, so it might seem like very weird, all the three things, how is it connected? So I'll just explain you with a topic, right? So with an example. So if you're, you know most of you, I think, are from India. So you would be able to relate that if you are in a, public transport or in a very busy street, and someone just gives you a nudge, someone gives you a push, what the push will be to your body, but then what happens to your mind, right? You will be cranky, you will be angry first, you will be like, who is this person? The immediate reaction would be irritation. Okay, and then if you, observe next time, or you have observed before, when you're angry, when you're irritated, your breath, the way you breathe is very fast and quick, very shallow breathing, right? So something happened to your body and your mind reacted and it changed your breath. So this is how, it is related. Now take another example. If a loved one, you are really not seen that person from last 2 years, and that person, you go to pick that person from airport, and when the person comes and you hug that person, what happens? The hug is to the body, but what your mind, it's like, there's happiness, there's joy, there is so much love, and your breath is slow, your heartbeat increases. So everything gets affected by simply your physical body, something happening to your physical body. So this is how, the union matters, whether for the good or the bad. One thing happens and the rest of the two things get affected, and it's vice versa, right? If your mind is disturbed, your body gradually gets affected. You get some problem with, you get body pains or you have headaches. So it's the reverse as well. So any from the three of the things, any one thing gets disturbed, the other two gets disturbed, right? So that's why the term yoga has been derived, that it's technique where you are aware that which part is disturbed and you fix that part, and rest of the two parts are in sync in rhythm as well. So it brings balance to your body, your mind, and your breath. Okay. So in layman's term, yoga is something, very like a physical activity or physical fitness regime, right? And at the same time, in India, yoga was perceived, as something which a yogi or a rishi or a swami, it's something for them, someone who has a very spiritual incline. So there is a wide range of things that happens in yoga. It's not just asanas. So that we'll talk about more in, upcoming slides. So what all yoga consists of? Okay, so it's very vast, but I'll keep it very short and give you and just in glimpse, because you might have heard about this, or this must be completely alien to you. Please be free to stop me at any point if it really goes above your head. Okay, please do let me know. So the spectrum of yoga, like I said, there's something for everyone, right? From someone who is just looking for physical fitness, or someone who really wants to evolve as human, right? So there is something called 8 limbs of yoga. Okay, so Ashtang yoga, you must have heard it as a technique, one of the different ways of doing yoga, like Hatha yoga, Ashtang, Vinyasa yoga, there are like, power yoga, these things, those terms you must have heard as different types of yogas. But Ashtang yoga, or the 8 limbs of yoga, is one of the types. I won't go too much into that. There are many types. Okay. So the 8 limbs consist of in any type. Okay. So first is yama, which is your social conduct, how the things you should follow when you're in society, or when you're in a group. So for the basic things which we all have heard, right? For example, the 5 of yamas, non-violence or ahimsa. Okay, so non-violence, not just in actions, not like just physical violence. It's also about your thinking, like even in your mind. Non-violence in your thoughts, like not harming anyone, right? Truthfulness, or satya, which is being truth not only verbally to others, but even to yourself, even in your internal conversation, and whatever happens in your mind. Then non-stealing, asatya, which is, as an word suggests, non-stealing, not taking something which is not yours. And this does not, all these does not apply only in your actions, but also in your thought process, right? It's like, even if you feel in your heart that I want this, or it could be jealousy, which you don't deserve, which is not yours, but you still have that feeling of taking what's not yours, would equally mean stealing. Like the feeling itself is enough, even if you don't act on it, right? Then comes brahmacharya or moderation. So brahmacharya word is often misunderstood by everyone. Brahmacharya normally means no marriage, or absence from sex. But it's not only that, it's like balance, it's like moderation, not getting swayed away with your desires, looking, just stepping back and looking how much is needed, and you do only that much. Okay, what, something in limit. Okay, then comes non-hoarding parigrah, which is, um, in modern day terms, I'll give you an example. If someone has a good salary, and the person is earning good enough, has everything covered in basics, but we have a desire. If we have a 2 bhk, we want 3 bhk. If we have 3 bhk, we want a bungalow. If we have a bungalow, we want one more 2 bhk. We want to invest. We want more. Now some of you may argue that, what does this mean? Don't We shouldn't have any ambition, we shouldn't desire to have more? No, you should always aim higher. But over here, what they're saying is that, do you really need it? you know Ultimately, we want that wealth, we want to expand our investments and everything, to be happy, to have that satisfaction in life of doing enough, to having that freedom. But in do we really have that happiness and freedom in true sense? Are we, not burdened by the EMIs we have to pay that follows? If, like, in a situation like COVID, many of us, they must have invested, and you know they were put in a difficult situation where they were not able to repay their loans, and it basically, we create our own problems, our own desires. So measurable steps, like something which is enough for today, and maybe a security for tomorrow, and that's enough. Like, not being greedy for more. So that's what it means. Then comes niyamas, which is your personal conduct, like basic things, which is swachhata, like cleanliness. So, like, we all know the proverb is, cleanliness is next to godliness. So it's not only about, cleanliness of your surroundings, but also your personal hygiene. And uh, very, basic reason for this is, when your surroundings is clean, when you are clean and hygienic, you feel good, right? Every day we have a bath, we feel fresh. When the house is clean, we feel good. And if you imagine a very cluttered space, or full of dust, full of garbage, we don't enjoy. Our mind, our emotions, quickly change, and we feel very dull, and we feel very confused, messy. So even how your surroundings and you are, it directly affects how you feel. Okay, so directly affects your emotions and your feelings. Then comes contentment, is satisfaction. So these, whatever I'm talking about right now, may feel very small, but if you really ponder upon each point, it really impacts. So contentment, like, santosh, like, feeling happy with whatever you have. We hear it every now and then with, different quotes in philosophical books, that be content. But we are not able to, because we are bombarded by so much information, so much, around us on social media, that we, even if we are happy about something, the moment we see, someone else buying a new car, suddenly our Maruti Swift feels very undesirable. We suddenly feel the lack of not having a good car, or not having good clothes. I'm just explaining with basic examples. So, somewhere we constantly lack that contentment in our life, which ultimately prevents us from being happy or emotionally stable, right? Then comes austerity. Okay, so again, this is a kind of balance which we keep, So, or you can say, commitment with balance. Okay, so, like, if you decide something for your body, right? We do it every day no matter what. You know, you have committed to do yoga, you do it no matter what. You plan you schedule your days like that. So having that commitment towards something and following it through. Okay, then comes swadhyay, which is self study, that you observe yourself. We all are different, right? So if no one, you know, shampoo, for example, doesn't work for all kinds of hair, right? So same way, not one solution to lead your life will work for everyone. So you yourself can guide you the best. Yeah, there are some tips. You definitely take inspiration and help from someone who has been through that journey, but you yourself decides how you want to go ahead. So that self study is very important, and that's that space to, you know, introspect, we only get, you know, when we sit quietly without any disturbance. And you can say during meditation, you know, during times when you're not around people, when you're not socializing, when it's just you and yourself and your internal conversation, that's when you can study yourself, which I think in today's times we really lack that, right? So the moment we want to enjoy even our evening view from our balcony, we have notifications popping, we have someone coming to the door. So, you know, we have something or the other going on every time. So, you know, when on the vacations, we you know, want to click everything. So there's nothing wrong. Okay, whatever I'm saying, I myself do it too. But you know, sometimes we fail to understand that it takes over that, you know, that relaxation moment which we have really, you know, gone to that place for, right? So you know, you can relate to it to whatever extent you can. And then comes your surrender. Okay, so ultimately when you have done everything, uh, this is a more, you can say, a very deeper concept of surrender. So it's like when you have given your best, when you have done everything you need to do, okay, and then still something doesn't happen, then you surrender, then you give up. And that's a very big thing, right? Sometimes we get so burdened by the results, that we have put 100% and still we don't get that result, and it really bogs you down, it takes away your joy. So that's the moment where whoever you believe in, that higher power, any god, even your parents, or you know, any you, if you believe in that energy higher than you, you surrender to that power, that energy, that god. And that kind of frees you, right, to be able to be yourself and continue doing what you need to do without getting bogged down by the results. So it is definitely a very deeper concept, but it's a part of your personal conduct. Okay. Then once your yama niyama, which is how your mind operates, if even if you follow one of this, you know, you know, eventually you will cover everything. And then when you do asanas, okay, then you move to asanas, your the physical part, the postures are needed just to make your body free of any rigidity, any, you know, any diseases physically, to make your body fit enough to do pranayamas. Okay, because when you do breathing exercises, your body has to be really relaxed. And you know, even if you are able to sit just half an hour folding your legs on the floor, it's enough. You know, you don't need to do the fancy asanas to be able to, you know, get to the last part of the yoga, which is samadhi. It's the only purpose of asanas, the posture in actual yoga, is to keep you fit, free of diseases, keep your body very, you know, supple, very flexible, so that whatever task you do throughout the day, or you know, during your practice, you're able to do it 100%. I'll just give you an example. Like, if you have done a yoga before or any physical activity before, you will observe that the entire day you're more energetic, you're more fresh, you know, you're able to do more than what you usually do. So that energy, that power you get by doing the postures correctly, right? Obviously there are million variations that are available right now, but the authentic asanas, the yoga, is more, very slow, very rhythmic, very you can say with complete awareness of your body and your mind. Like the simple exercises that we did in the beginning, right? They were nothing new, but when you do it with awareness, suddenly you realize, okay, I have, pain here, this part is so stiff, it's this side is more free. Suddenly you are more aware of your body, right? How, what, where you have issues, where, what is paining. So, you can be your best guide when you're aware, right? And that can only happen with proper yoga, the authentic yoga. The only difference between any other exercises and yoga is that awareness part, right? Otherwise you will see that you have similar exercises in gym training and also in yoga, but what makes it difference from, normal exercising is that awareness within your body and your mind. Okay. Then moving on to pranayam, like I said, our body, mind, and breath is connected. So one of the ways of controlling your mind or emotions is your breath. So that's where the breathing techniques come in. Okay. Then you move on to pratyahara, which is turning inward. So you can just consider this as a bridge between the first four and the last three. Okay. So the first four are more outward exercises, right? Yama niyama, this is what you do outside physically, right? And what comes after pratyahara, dhara, dhyan, samadhi, is more, you move from outside towards inwards, right? So dharana is nothing but focusing on one thing and repeating it. So it can, for example, it can be, idol worship. You are focused, you are watching something continuously. It can be, trataka, one of the techniques in yoga, where you look at a candle flame and, just stare at it for some time. Okay. Then you can also say, you can give an example like chanting. So something which you do for a long period of time continuously, so that the disturbances, the you just break that chaos in your head, the multiple thoughts that goes on. Even right now, just observe your mind, just take a minute. There's millions of things that's running. As I'm speaking, your mind is bombarding you with 5-10 more things in your head, right? Questioning, answering, doubting, what is she saying, is she right or not, giving, replies to whatever I'm saying. So our mind is constantly working. So to break that cloud of thoughts, you just take one thing, you keep repeating. So once you keep repeating, you will observe that gradually the other thoughts fade away, and then you move towards meditation, which is dhyana. And there, from concentration, you go into deconcentration, right? So there, you are in a space where you're aware of everything and the thoughts have faded away in the background. And then, without any efforts, gradually you move on to samadhi. So now samadhi is again a very, very big topic. Okay, there are many types of samadhis, so I won't go into that. But it is a state where there is nothing, no thoughts, no awareness. It's just bliss. That is the whole essence of, humans. That blissful feeling, without any external factors which already exist within you, right? Within us. So these are the main 8 types. Okay. If anyone has any questions, I think you can keep it and we can discuss it at the end. Okay. I'll just move ahead. Then comes the second part of our topic. Okay, this was impact of what was yoga. We did that, and now how does it affect the emotional well-being? So before going to that, we will understand what is emotional well-being. Okay, what are emotions? So if we go into a very, you can say, very textbookish explanation of it. So emotion is a psychological state, right? Where thoughts come in, that thoughts turn into feelings, and that feelings make you behave in a certain way, or respond in a certain way. And that's how everything gets impacted. Okay, so the way they impact us, we all know how powerful emotions are, right? So every decision that you have made, every choice that you have made, or everything that goes on, every second of your existence, if you can say, majority of it are driven by emotions, right? So it is definitely a very powerful thing. So it can be very positive, it can have a very positive impact, as well as it can ruin someone's life. So emotions, we all know, play a very, very important role. And that's why the whole seminar is about that. That is the importance of it, right? So how do we control them? So first of all, can we control them? Yes, we can. Okay, to certain extent we can. So just a fun fact is, like, every 2 days our emotions change. So we cannot stay in the same state of mind more than 2 days. So if you're really pissed, really angry with someone, after 2 days it will start fading off. Then if you hold on to it, it's a different story, but it will definitely switch. Even if you're really excited about something, after 2 days it will fade. So we are never in the same state of mind, emotionally we are not the same throughout. So how do we then commit to something we've decided in a certain emotional state, right? So that's where yoga comes into play, which we'll move forward, and I'll explain you. Okay. So yoga helps you build that emotional intelligence, right? So again, down there is a very a explanation from a psychology book. So a form of social intelligence that involves the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate between them, and to use this information to guide one's thinking and action, right? So like I said, right now I just told you what emotion does, right? It changes every 2 days, and it affects you. So suddenly when you're aware about this fact, okay, then whenever certain situation arises, like for example, for a young child, when they don't have emotional intelligence, right? They see a toy, they get excited, they want it, and they'll play for maybe a week at max, and then that toy would be lying around somewhere in the house. So this is how they are in the moment, their emotions are in the moment. They will cry, like they'll take the whole house on their heads, but next moment once you show them a piece of a chocolate, it's gone. Like they'll be laughing and they'll smiling, like nothing happened. So can just relate that their emotions, they just stay in the moment, they change, and their emotional intelligence is very weak. But as we grow older, we learn that that we cannot have the same emotions everywhere. We can't make decisions based on emotions, or we can't behave the way we feel, right? So that's how we develop that emotional intelligence with time. But of course, we do have examples around you, right, where even when the person is 40, 50 years old, they will throw a tantrum, they will make sure that others are worried, they suffer, they create the situations which will make people's life hell. So we all have such people around us, or maybe sometimes we ourselves are such a person for other people. So you know how do we get past that? Because if we are aware that our actions, our emotions are impacting the way we are around people, it will definitely help you change the dynamics between you and others, your loved ones, at least around you. Okay. So to understand emotional intelligence much in detail, so these are the 5 parts where you can say the emotional intelligence work. So how would you define someone who is emotionally intelligent? So the person is self-aware, right? the way he speaks, the way he behaves, the way he makes choices. He knows that, okay, right now I'm not feeling good, but that doesn't mean that I should miss this opportunity. I should, say something which would have a longer consequences. So that self awareness of how the person is feeling right now, and taking the actions accordingly. So again, self regulation is an extension of self awareness, that once you are aware, you behave accordingly, right? You regulate your actions accordingly. Then comes motivation, that we all have lows. No matter, I'm doing yoga for from last 5 to 6 years, but still I have days which are pretty bad. I don't feel like doing yoga, I don't feel like being a, saying the right things. There is anger, there's frustrations. We all go through that emotions no matter what we do, right? But still a part of you, when you have that awareness, kind of mellows down that effect. It won't let you do a damage which is irreversible, right? You kind of hold yourself back. You learn to develop techniques which uh, kind of prevents you from doing something which you would regret later. And even on the other part, that low phases of life which we have, you have a certain motivation in you, that emotionally intelligent person will not only motivate him or herself, but also others around them, right? To start again. Like, we all decide that, from tomorrow, sincerely, I'll wake up at 6 and do my yoga, I'll do my gymming, and I'll eat healthy. But again, after 2 days, we are in the same loop. But again, to have that motivation that, no, this is the right thing, I aim for this. You kind of build a structure for yourself to do that thing, whatever you have decided for yourself. So that self motivation of keep going no matter what, no matter what happens. Then comes empathy. Empathy and sympathy, right? We know sympathy more than empathy. But um, can anyone tell me, what does empathy mean? How is it different from sympathy? Anyone?
Empathy is when we can actually uh, feel what, like, sympathy is when we can actually feel what others are feeling because we have gone through the same experience. But empathy would rather be like, even though we haven't been through the experience, we can sort of relate to the person.
Like understand what the person is trying to say.
Yeah, exactly.
So we
So,
understand.
yeah, you were almost there. So, what you said for sympathy was for empathy. Sympathy is simply acknowledging, okay, the person is sad. We just discuss that, for, like, we can say the, like, I'm not making a stereotype, but what in a very funny, in a very light note, that what the gossips which aunties do, right? If someone has divorced, they will just, "Arre re bichari, divorce ho gaya," like, just an example. Like, we are just discussing that, and kind of saying, "Oh, it is a sad thing." And empathizing would be really, it's not necessary that you have gone through that, but you're able to relate. You are more in the listening zone than commenting zone. You're not giving them advice, you're not telling them, "Oh, it's a bad situation." We all know it's a bad situation, but we just be there for them, right? When you empathize with people, when someone from your family goes through a bad time, we don't sit and give them advices. We don't try to uh, force them to come out of that emotion. We just be there. We just give them warmth and comfort. We talk to them. We just, even sometimes we don't even talk to them. We just give them that space to be, right? That is empathy. That is that sensitivity, you can say, towards people, right? And social skill, you can say, it is a combination of all of the above, right? You're When you go into a room, you are able to sense the atmosphere. You're able to judge what you need to say, how much you need to say. Some people need that attention. Some people really go into a hiding when you are in a social group. So that social skill of how much to say, what to say, and kind of being able to judge the waters, and speaking. So this is, you can say, the overall characteristics of a emotionally intelligent person, right? So coming back to the question, but then how does yoga work in all of this? Okay, we understood what was yoga, we understood what was emotional intelligence, but how the two work? So yoga and emotional well-being. So emotional well-being, like we discussed, it's a psychological state which can either give you pleasure or pain, right? And what yoga does is it balances out. So like we say, whether you have good days or you have bad days, they are never going to be there forever, right? You have a like a tide, up and downs. You no one ever has a straight line, a straight graph in their life, no matter how wealthy they are, no matter how healthy they are, or how amazing family they have. We all go through that, right? So we have something, okay, in yogic terms, we have 5 layers of existence, okay? So we'll just go through them. So first is your annamaya kosh, which is your physical layer, the food that you take, okay? So it, like I discussed earlier, it is very important, okay, what kind of food you take, okay? Because everything that you put through your 5 senses really impacts your mind, okay? Food is just one of that. Others, even the things you watch, the thing you listen, the things you touch, you do, okay? Or like your things you put in your mouth. So e- everything that your 5 senses take in is like, uh, food for your mind or your emotions, right? So if you have watched a really bad accident on the road, it will, if you have watched it, but your mind will be affected by that. Similarly, if you have wedding food that day, your mind will be dull, lethargic, and you won't feel like moving from your bed. So why does that happen? Whenever you overeat, because if you say that food gives energy, then you should feel very energetic and very excited after having a wedding feast, right? But that doesn't happen. And the reason for that is everything, like yoga stands for, you need a balance, okay? So whatever you eat, the thumb rule is that you have half solid, you have 1/4 liquid, and 1/4 you stay empty stomach. But what do? We one entire plate, and plus for the next meal, and no, then liquid, and then you forget about the empty space, right? Like everything is full up till the neck. So that's how we have been conditioned since birth, like with our parents, ke pet bhar ke khao, you should be full. But in yoga they say there is no mention of not eating non-veg or not eating a particular food, but definitely there are categories, there are types of foods which are more advisable if you want to really grow in yoga. But I'll just talk about the basic thumb rules which applies for everyone, no matter where you belong, what your food eating habits are, or what age you are, or what body type you are. Okay, so like I said, this rule of half solids, 1/4 liquid, and 1/4 empty stomach. Okay, so the liquid, ideally, we don't recommend you having water before and after having meal immediately. At least half an hour to 45 minutes gap should be there. The reason for this is, when you have water immediately after having your food, you dilute the acids, okay? So if you are someone having issues of acidity or indigestion, just check that, are you having too much water immediately after your food? Then definitely your digestion suffers, it affects you. So the best next alternative is to have buttermilk, okay? Really less amount of curd and more water, with some cumin powder, jeera, or rock salt. Okay, so you can note this, you can try this and see, check for 1 week if it makes a difference to you. Okay, another thing is that you eat uh, between a certain period of time, which is from sunrise, when the sun gradually become stronger and before your sunset. So I know in ideal in real life it is not possible, but as early as you can. The reason for this being is that your digestive fire is the strongest when the sun is the strongest. Okay, so you're able to digest much better when it's a day. Okay, so the more late you eat, the more sluggish your digestion becomes, and more difficult it is for the body to cut it down. And that undigested food kind of builds up in your body. It creates toxins, and those toxins, wherever they are, like if it is in your stomach, it will create acidity issues. If it's in your intestines, then you have your digestion issues. If it the toxins get accumulated in your blood, it you will have cholesterol issues. Okay, if it interferes with your hormones, you will have diabetes. If it goes into your respiratory systems, you will have asthma. So all the basic lifestyle disorders are nothing but the accumulation of these toxins in the body, and it creating a problem for any of the systems, right? So the basic, if you just follow this basics, you won't have tendency to develop any of these lifestyle disorders. So like I said, no one meal type, no one food type applies for everyone. In Ayurveda, we, it's another topic for a seminar. So we'll definitely do that topic much detail further. So something called, three body types, which is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Okay, so we all are combinations of these three elements. Okay, air element, fire element, and water element. We other two are there as well, but these three are considered the most vital ones, which kind of changes from person to person, from season to season, from age group to your geographical location, everything. Okay, so your food choices, the depends on that, what you should be eating, what is correct for you. But the general things is, you eat seasonal, you eat uh, time to time, you eat, like I said, between when the sun is just in the sun is out. Okay, and you eat a little lesser than what you want to. Okay, so these are the basic thumb rules you can follow. Okay, then moving on to the next layer, which is your pranamaya kosh, which is your energy layer. So again, there comes the breathing part, that we do it through our after asanas, which in yoga class we do pranayams, all the breathing exercises. So when you control that, again, you are helping your body to calm down, control your mind, your emotions. Okay, then you move to your manamaya kosha, which is your mental layer. Okay, again, like I said, that it's connected. So if you eat something which is not good for you, it will definitely, you can check. Whenever you're not feeling well, your breathing will be very shallow, very low. Okay, you'll feel very tired and energyless. And then, like I said, it will affect your mind. You'll be dull, you'll be lazy, you'll be procrastinating, you will be not ready to take up opportunities. Okay, and then comes your vignamaya, which is your
Can I just
intellectual
interrupt
layer.
you for a
Yeah.
minute? Ask you that if you can show us some asanas which is relevant to how how we connect emotional well-being along with yoga, because considering that during COVID many people have faced a lot of emotional unbalance, and there has been a lot of problems regarding they have to stay at home, so the usual lifestyle has become very different, so it has affected their mental health to an extent. So is there any asanas which are relevant enough which would help them to maintain that balance, the emotional well-being along through yoga?
Okay. So, see, I cannot just tell you all the asanas right now, just one or two asanas, but if you like just do Surya Namaskar, sun salutations every day, just three sets of it. Okay, so that would be good enough. The basic thing what your body needs is the joint exercises, because we are constantly either sitting or standing or lying down. This is what our lifestyle has limited us to, you know. So just good enough stretching of all your joints, and 3 to 6 sets of Surya Namaskars would be amazing for your everyday fitness. That's what I
Yes.
would recommend. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. So, yeah, these, like I said, the after mental layer, your Vignamaya, which is your intellect layer. So, yoga also impacts that layer because it gives you a better understanding of making the right choices. Sometimes we are very lost, very confused when we need to make decisions. So, yoga kind of gives you that intuitiveness. So again, the way it works is once you're calm and relaxed, you're able to decide much better for yourself. So if you take any of the scientists, right, Einstein or Archimedes, the they got an idea, they had a revolutionary idea when they were the most relaxed, right? Newton had under a tree when he was relaxing, when he was fed up after days of working out, chalking out. Archimedes had it in a bathtub. So we don't have those moments, right? We don't get those moments in our day-to-day life. So during meditation, during yoga, once your body is really worked up, your body is free of all the rigidness, and then with breathing techniques, your mind is aligned, with your breath, then you get that intuitiveness, that answers which you are really lost, for you will, that those answers start coming up. And I can say that from my experience that it really works. I was a very, very confused person. Like, I've done million things before doing yoga, and I was doing well at everything, but still, part of me was not sure, and it really helped me settle down that dust, in your mind, of that confusion. And then there is the ultimate, which is the blissful layer, Anandamaya Kosh. Again, like, everything leads to that, and this again is a very complex concept. Okay, so for now we just leave it to a happy mind and healthy body. Okay, so like, like, to what extent yoga will work and how it will work is, firstly, you need to do it regularly, consistently, and for a longer duration, right? So by practice and detachment, the mental whirlpool can be stopped. Okay, so mental whirlpool here is your emotional disturbances, right? So by practice is whatever you believe in, you need to have trust and faith in that technique. Okay, it can be very simple technique, but you do it every day and for a long period of time. So if you just do it once in a while, once in a blue moon, you can't see the results, whatever I'm saying, right? So consistent and detachment here is, the word detachment means that not bothered about the results. We expect miracles, that in 2 months I want to fit into that jeans, and in by this new year I want to get in shape so I can look good and on the beach. But when you associate, when you have a result and then you do your practice, you not only kind of burdening yourself with that, but you're not even enjoying that practice. Okay, so you be in the moment, do it every day, like you enjoy something, and then automatically that will lead to what you want. But if you're so feverish about something, if you're so attached to that, neither will you enjoy the practice, and the result would be really far off, because it defeats the entire purpose, right? Because each session of yoga should give you that relaxation there itself, that acceptance, that happiness about the way you are right now. Okay, that doesn't mean that you don't aim for better health, better body, or better things in life. But right now, what you are, how you are, you first be happy with that, then that automatically will lead to that. Okay, so this is it from my side. If anyone has any questions, you're free to ask.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening.
Ma'am, my name is Sheetal Agnihotri, and it was an amazing session from you. I'm so thankful for that. And I learned a lot from you, especially the last part where you said that we should trust the process and focus on the process and the journey rather than what we are trying to achieve at the end, because we are delusioned by that a lot of times. So I think that was really good advice from you, and it's going to help me a lot as well.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. And I have a question, and my question is that what do you suggest is the right process for beginning this, to focus on the beginning and rather like motivating yourself every day? Because sometimes it happens that we start it and then we just don't follow through.
Yep.
So, what do you suggest is the process that we can motivate ourselves to do this every single day of our lives without losing focus?
Yeah. So this the answer is in your sentence. Don't plan for lifetime. Just plan for
Right.
tomorrow. Okay? Just one day. Okay. I'll wake up tomorrow at 6. That's it. Don't even think what you will do, and how long you will do, and how many days will you do, and what will happen. Just one small goal. I will wake up tomorrow at 6. That's it. And once you wake up, you know what you have to do, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
we just need that one thing. We overcomplicate things when we give our mind that that goal of 1 year, or say for even for 2 months. That 2 months I'll do it very religiously. The moment you give that long duration, your mind is very naughty. It will immediately say अभी 2 महीने है ना, आराम से करेंगे. जैसे
Exactly.
अभी मंडे से करेंगे, फिर मंडे आके चला जाता है. अब तो वेडनेसडे, फिर वेडनेसडे अभी वीकेंड तो आ ही गया. आई हैव टू गो to
Right, right, right.
go with out with my friends. फिर मंडे वापस वही स्टोरी, we all know. So we don't plan for too long, and it applies for everything, all your habits, all of your goals, right? We aim for how you want your life to be, how you want your health to be, and then you start with one day at a time. That's it.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
so this is the tip from me: one day at a time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And ma'am, I have one more question. That's while we're doing Surya Namaskar, as you
Yeah.
mentioned, is stretching important to do before Surya Namaskar, or should we just like we can go for it straight away because it is kind of a stretching exercise itself?
Exactly. So Surya Namaskar is warming up itself. So if you are absolutely beginner, or you have not done it from a long time, you can start with basic joint exercises, and you can start with slower rounds of Surya Namaskars first. Okay.
Okay, okay,
So
ma'am.
you, in the slower rounds itself, you take your time, and then you can build the speed. Okay, gradually. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Wendrala Banerjee.
Yeah.
Yeah, building up on what Sheetal said, like she said that some of us are beginners,
Yeah.
and about the Surya Namaskar. So some of the asanas actually require flexibility, and I am one of those people who is not at all flexible.
Yeah.
So uh, how do we proceed? Like, is
Like,
it important, like the flexibility part?
see, flexibility comes with practice. So obviously we can't make it a prerequisite, right? Because otherwise half of the people would not be able to do it, like majority of you. So it's not only and it applies for everyone. And flexibility is more associated with your mental state, and it is not that it will be constant and it will be growing. So even for me, like, if I'm mentally very drained out, or I'm tired, or I'm not feeling good on certain days, my flexibility will be affected. I won't be flexible like I am usually. So don't be bothered about that too much. You, like, for that purpose we need a teacher or an instructor, right? That's why not everyone is able to do it on their own. So for those who are not able to follow all the steps, there are definitely some techniques, some you can say workout or warming up, which allows you to do that posture better. So you work slowly. You don't do like the regular rhythm like everyone does. You start off slow, and before that, I would suggest that you work on your joints. Like it's a very very important thing. Normally people don't take it seriously, no matter how advanced asanas you do, but warming up your joints is very very important. So you, for a week or two, you just work on that, and the way to do it is very slow with awareness. So again, like you really need someone to guide you initially, and maybe you can, after 1 or 2 sessions, once you know what you have to do, you can do it regularly on your own.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I had a question. I wanted to ask that we know that pranayam helps us a lot with increasing and enhancing our concentration. But is there anything else along with pranayama that we can do which would like make our concentration better over time?
See, concentration, how do you make it better is by lessening the distractions, right? So first thing is like minimize your electronics if you really want to practice concentration apart from doing yoga. So you cut down on multitasking, right? When you multitask, that means you're not focusing on one thing. Your mind is scattered all over, and you can never increase your concentration that way. So you focus on one thing at a time. You just do that, and
No.
then go to the next task. Okay, so you are completely giving 100% to that. You're focusing on that without any distractions, and then you go to other. That's the way you do it without yoga.
Oh,
Okay, you need more clarification, or you got it?
no, I did get it.
Yeah, because see, when you jump from one thing to the other, you cannot, like, what concentration is, that you are just that the thing which you're doing, and that's it, nothing in between. So that is concentration, and it's all about that practice, again, 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 again. Like the thought comes, you say, okay, later, later, later. So that constant awareness that I'm into another train of thoughts. So you cut that train, and you focus on, keep coming back to your assignment or whatever you're doing at the moment. So it's all about that awareness and that constant practice. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have this like my attention span is really short, so I think so.
And it's not you, it's for everyone.
Mhm.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
all are in the same boat, and we can blame our mobile phones and a million other distractions around us, right? But it's a good thing that you're aware that we have such short attention span right now, because the moment we are doing something, tum, tum, so in the background again we check our phones, and then we are shopping something, and 10 minutes later we have bought something of 5,000. So this is how our attention span is right now, and it is valid for everyone. But if you are aware of it, you constantly come back. The moment you get aware, again you switch, you come back to your job. So it's a constant thing. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyone else? We can then just conclude this session then, if there are no more
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
Okay.
surely complete. If you have something to say, then you can.
No, that's it. I had amazing time with you guys, and I'm not sure like how much you guys have understood it, or how at what level was that understanding. But I'm just hoping that even if you got 1 point from this, I would be happy, if it really helped you in any way.
Think
So
really the entire session was really very enriching for all of us, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sorry, continue. I just
no, that's it. I guess I'm happy to have you all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure all the people who have been present here did retain a lot from whatever has been told by you. And the presentation was amazing, as I said. So I would like to conclude the session by saying that we really got to know about the different kinds of yoga and how it affects our emotional well-being, the positive and negative aspects, and how do we focus on the positive aspects on it, and how we can control our emotions.
Yeah.
And then we also got to know about the pillars of emotional intelligence. So I think it has been a really, really enriching session, as I said before, and it will be helpful for all of us, all the people who have been a part of the session today. Considering that, how our lifestyle has changed over the past 2 years, it is really needed. Like sessions like these are really needed these days.
Hmm.
So I would thank you for being a part of this session today. So, and you really did help us a lot, and as I said, enlightened us with so many things. And I would like to thank all the people who were able to join today with us. It has been absolutely delightful. And thank you so much. A Merry Christmas in advance and
Yeah.
a very Happy
So
New Year.
just the last thing I would like to say is
Yes.
just one exercise you all can do for the coming days is just like the essence of the whole webinar, that monitor what you're feeding your senses, right from your food, right from what you're watching, what you're reading, right, what you're listening. Just observe what effect, how does it affects your thoughts and then your emotion. Just watch it. I'm not saying to do anything, just observe that I ate something this, I ate lunch, and then how has it affected my mind or my thoughts. Just observe it for a few days, right? What if you're watching something, particular kind of movie, just observe your thoughts after that for few hours or days, right? So just do that. Whatever you're putting in, just observe how it is affecting your mind and your emotions. Okay, you will get half of the answers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Surely, surely
Yeah.
we'll try. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for
Bye,
being a part.
everyone. Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
evening. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.